All right, so today's question of the day comes from Jeremy. Now, Jeremy asks, what's the best way to bring your stuff from home, your personal belongings, to a school or to you in person? So before I do begin, I want you to understand, as you will see this picture, when you get to boot camp, you're going to be assigned a bunk. And when you open up that bunk, you're not going to have a lot of space. Majority of that space is going to be taken up by your military uniform, and you have a little space for your own personal belongings. So personal case for me, I have a bunk in a carrier. So when I open up that carrier, when I open up my bunk in the carrier, that size, it's a little bit smaller than the one in boot camp, just to give you some idea of how much space you can expect. Also with that, I have a little locker that I'm assigned to, but that's just enough to hang some uniform, and that's about it. So not a lot of space. So I want you to understand, you want to be a minimalist as much as you can. You don't want to have a lot of clothes. You don't want to have a lot of crap, because sometimes what happens is people who have a vehicle, they think, well, I can put all my stuff in my vehicle and it'll be safe forever. But there are thieves out there that'll break into your car, that they know that you're in the military, that you're in the Navy, and they know that they don't have a lot of space in the ship, so they break into your car and take all your stuff. So you don't want that to happen to you. So as much as you can, try to be a minimalist, okay? So when you graduate from boot camp, if your A school is within Great Lakes, within Illinois, after you graduate, you go back to the compartment, take all your stuff, go to your A school, check in, and then from there go out, see your family, and then your family can give you your stuff there. Now, if your A school is out of state, in a different state, personally the case for me was several weeks before I graduated, they gave me my flight information, what airport and at what time. So with that, from that time till I graduated, I told my family, hey, I'm going to be at this airport this time. Can you bring my personal belongings? And then, you can give it to me there. And that's exactly what I did. Some people, I traveled lightly, got my cell phone and stuff like that. But some people brought like a whole suitcase of stuff, like a travel suitcase. And, the military paid for it. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I just saw one person, I remember she had a whole pink suitcase. We were going to the same A school. And, I asked her, hey, did the military pay for that? And she's like, yeah. And that there was a lot of stuff. She had a lot of stuff, and I know she had to probably send a good majority of that back home, because there's no way that she can fit all that into her locker, her bunk in the ship. But for A school, there was a lot of space in A school. But anyway, if your parents are not coming to your graduation, or you don't have the opportunity to meet your parents after graduation, for they had to go back home right away after your graduation, whatever the case may be. When you get to A school, one way that you can get your stuff easily from home is prepare ahead of time, right? So right now, or a couple of weeks before you leave for boot camp, make sure you clean your room, organize, make sure you know where everything is, and get a little box where you put all your personal belongings, like clothes, underwear, laptop, cell phone, whatever the case may be. Put it all in that box, and then after you graduate, go to A school, call your parents and say, hey, mom and dad, can you ship out that box to this address? They're going to give you what address. So if your A school is within Great Lakes and you didn't get to see your family, you can still do the same thing here too. So make sure you organize everything and put it in a box, and then tell your parents to bring that box, to send that box. So what you don't want to do, if you leave for boot camp and your room is a mess, it's a whole, you don't even know where everything is. You don't want to be calling your parents and say, hey, mom and dad, can you go to my drawer, in the third drawer from the left, get my underwears, and then go to my computer desk, and then in the third drawer in the bottom, get my cell phone, whatever. You don't want it all over the place and give a hard time to your parents, right? They might not find it because it might not be there. You don't exactly know where everything is. So try to make it as simple as possible. Put it in a box, and then tell them after you graduate, you go to A school, tell them, hey, can you ship out that box to this address? That's the best way, all right? And that's also what I did, because I also wanted clothes and underwears later on when I was in A school. And mind the weight, okay? When you ship out stuff, it's not the size of the box that matters. It's the amount of weight, Alright, so I personally from home got a small box. I can't really have something to compare it to actually. Alright, here's my laptop, right? So this is my laptop. This is a pen, just to give you a rough idea. Right about double the size of the pen in dimension and right about this width, right? That was about 50 bucks. That was about 50 bucks. So it gets expensive, all right? So you don't want to have a whole lot of stuff that you're sending. You want to have a little bit of stuff. Try to be a minimalist as much as possible, like I said. All right, so thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great Navy day.